Greetings and welcome to SALGA TV with me, your host, Meralda. This edition has a special focus on the water sector in South Africa. The value of water to South Africa's economy can never be underestimated. Water is vital for manufacturing, agricultural, and most forms of energy production. Now, this means that sustainable economic development is impossible without water. With young people making up the largest proportion of the global population, water and its implications on economic development will naturally impact young people more than any other generation. Coming up in this edition of SALGA TV, we will be looking at young people taking the center stage in the water and sanitation sector. We went to the Newlands Agroecology Hub, the Polokwane Delmada plant, the Borges Quarry Wastewater Plant in Cape Town, and the Northern Wastewater Treatment Works in Diepsloot, to look at young people's contributions in providing safe and quality drinking water and sanitation solutions to South African households and their contributions to economic growth. Local government, as the sphere of government that is closest to the people, is employed with the responsibility of providing water and sanitation. Since the dawn of democracy, the water sector has incrementally managed to ensure access to water and sanitation services to South Africans, particularly to those who were previously underserviced. Let's take a look at what the work of the eThekwini municipality is doing at the Newlands Agroecology Hub. The site explores and tests new sanitation technologies, among other research that is conducted there.
My name is Lungi Zuma. I work as a professional engineer at eThekwini municipality in the water and sanitation unit. When I graduated from University of Cape Town with a BSc in chemical engineering, I started working at a traditional chemical engineering company. And thereafter, I found an opportunity to study a master's through the University of KwaZulu-Natal. And I took up that opportunity, and my master's was based on characterizing fecal sludge from sanitation systems in eThekwini municipality. And after I'd finished my studies, then I got to work for the municipality. I work in the department where we look at research and innovation when it comes to water and sanitation. So we're looking at new ways in which the municipality can deliver sanitation services that are sustainable, that are hygienic, that are acceptable to all our users. Our users in eThekwini municipality are our citizens of the municipality, and we have a wide range. So we have people who live in built-up areas where they've got waterborne sanitation. We have people living in informal settlements. We have people living in the rural areas. So as the water and sanitation unit, it is our mandate to provide services to all our categories of users. As the water and sanitation unit, our strategy for embracing new tech and innovation is through doing pilot-size trials. So trialing the new technology or product at a smaller scale before rolling it out on a wider scale. So what this does is it enables us to check its effectiveness, its acceptability to our users, and also its sustainability in the long run. So this is a full-flush toilet. It's a toilet that uses about 2 liters of water to flush. What's good about these toilets is that they can be in the house because it has a water seal and it doesn't bring the smells back into the house. And you can connect it either to a leach pit or a septic tank at the back end. So these are a step above the usual pit toilets, but then they don't use as much water as a conventional flush. Another strategy is working with external institutions like the WASH R&D Center at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, as well as the Water Research Commission, to help us with developing the new technologies and eventually rolling them out on a wider scale. A career in the water and sanitation sector is a very rewarding one because you can touch people's lives directly, improving their living conditions, their access to water, their access to a sanitation system. The water sector contributes to the development of the country as a whole, so we can meet our development goals in a sustainable manner. To the youth, consider looking for careers in the water sector. There's a vast number of career paths that you can embark on, and you'll find that you will enjoy it. So when people have access to good sanitation, it improves their quality of life, it decreases the prevalence of diseases associated with poor hygiene, it affords them their dignity, and it also contributes to a clean living environment.
We now have in studio Mapulebata to speak to us about the Institute of Municipal Engineering of South Africa. She works for the city of Ekurhuleni as a project engineer in the Water and Sanitation Department. Mapule, welcome to SALGA TV.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
Now, Mapule, what does IMESA stand for and what is its vision in the water sector?
It stands for the Institute of Municipal Engineering of Southern Africa. Its goal or vision is actually to promote excellence in the engineering profession for the benefit of municipalities and their communities.
IMESA plays a significant role in municipal engineering. Now, in relation to its goal of creating platforms for knowledge or exchange of ideas, what platforms are available for youth in the sector?
IMESA does have a yearly conference. The private sector, consulting engineers, contractors, and even municipal engineers, they come together once in a year. It happens over a period, I think it's like 5 days. It also allows people to showcase the technologies that are available or the solutions that they've proposed for various challenges in the industry. When you actually engage, you get to know what the industry is doing. It is important. It's part of personal development, which is very, very critical.
What would you say are some of the key water sector challenges in South Africa, and how can the youth contribute in resolving some of these?
I feel like the youth has got to, come up with ways. I know that somewhere in Dubai or in Abu Dhabi, but in the UAE, they're also trying to find water in the aquifers underground. You know, that's such an innovative thing to do. We also need to try to do such things, and it's up to us, the youth, honestly, to be excited about these things and try to find solutions. The world needs us.
It's very exciting to speak to someone young who is so enthused about finding solutions and creating solutions.
Yes.
As a young person, what are some of the key issues that keep you awake at night about the youth in South Africa?
I feel like, trust me, there's so much knowledge, there's so much desire for greater things in the youth. Especially, I'm going to speak for a rural girl and a rural boy out there, because there is no support. There is no exposure to what engineering is. There should be more of these platforms that actually encourage youth to be able to do things and see the bigger picture. I mean, there's technology, there's so much that is happening, because honestly, engineering and technology are very critical. We wouldn't be where we are if then the engineers were not, now we're enjoying a nice life because of engineers and technology, and we want to take it far,
How important is it for the young water professionals to affiliate to IMESA?
Associating yourself with organizations like IMESA, you get inspired. You get to not shift the responsibility to someone else, because you know that I can do it. I can do this thing. If this one can do it, I can. I mean, this is where this person has left off, but I think I can push this and provide a solution. So it really is for inspiration. It's also that whole thing of knowing that you are backed up by a very strong organization that supports you, that supports your interest, and that makes you cannot be abused in a way. You have support in the industry. So it's a platform whereby honestly you get to grow You know, you can't just sit and be like, I've got my degree and you become complacent. You have to keep, you know, developing yourself because that's what the world is doing. The world is changing very fast. So as a person in the industry, you can't just sit. So organizations like IMESA, they actually give you that platform.
What message or messages do you have for the youth of South Africa?
Oh, wow. The world needs us. The world needs your brain, your, you know, heart, basically. We need to provide solutions. We need to think big. Actually, starting with your municipality, where you're working, how can you make South Africa better? How to make Africa better? How to make the whole world better? So the world needs us, and we have it in us.
I'm inspired just by speaking to you. As you say, the youth need to get involved. Local government is everyone's business, after all. Mapule, that is all we have time for today. Thank you so much for coming in studio and having that discussion with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
That was Mapulebata from the Institute of Municipal Engineering of South Africa. We now bring our focus to the city of Cape Town. The Borchards Quarry wastewater treatment works plant in the city of Cape Town was a first of its kind in South Africa. Our team went to visit the site to understand why it is considered a state-of-the-art facility and provides a higher standard of sanitation services. We also spoke to a young engineer working at the plant about this and some of the processes to improve public health standards.
Good day, my name is Larsen Goliath. I've been employed by the City of Cape Town as a senior superintendent. My daily duties is managing various wastewater treatment works and ensuring compliance with the Department of Water and Sanitation legislation. I started in the City of Cape Town back in 2014 after completing my studies in chemical engineering. I finished with a BTech. I'm currently also doing a master's degree in water quality engineering at UCT. So water has always been my passion. It's always been a dream of mine to be a water engineer. I believe that water is life and we cannot go without water. There will always be jobs available in wastewater or water in general. Coming into the water sector, being young and being a female, it was a challenge initially because this was previously a male-dominated sector. However, that is no longer the case because a lot of females have started to rise to the occasion and stand up and really positively contribute. As I was exposed to the industry, I realized that a lot of people, they do not know and understand what happens to the water once it goes down the drain, down the toilet, or from the washing machine, etc. And also that is why people discharge things into the system that could cause abnormalities for us on the plants because we don't have control over what we always receive. Doing this work in terms of managing various activities on a wastewater treatment process, it is really a pleasure for me knowing that I can make a difference in our water value chain in terms of meeting our water and sanitation delivery needs. The water that we treat and discharge eventually ends up in our rivers, sometimes in the ocean, and to a certain extent at some of our plants back into the aquifer, which end up in groundwater, which eventually at some point goes back to drinking water. In terms of the South African water quality effluent standards, I think there has been quite a good improvement over the years. However, it might not be to the extent that we would like it to be in terms of our water and sanitation goals. Currently, there are still people that do not have access to basic water and sanitation needs, and that continues to be a challenge throughout South Africa.
Up next, we have Dashia Maluma, Senior Advisor for Training Services at SALGA. A warm welcome to SALGA TV, Dashia.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now, Dashia, you have been with SALGA and working in the water sector for some time. What have been some of your career highlights that you wish to share with the youth of South Africa?
Okay, thank you so much. I actually started my career in 2007. That was within the private sector. And then I joined local government from 2008 to 2014 that I was working with a Umjini local municipality, which amalgamated with Mbombela in 2016 and is now the city of Mbombela local municipality. From there, I then joined SALGA in 2014, and I have been working in the water sector during this time. And my career highlights actually emanate from there. I was able to assist while in the municipality to assist the municipality to improve on their blue, green, and no drop, which is the Department of Water, which the Department of Water and Sanitation uses as a benchmark to ensure the quality and level of services within the sector at local government level. And through those processes, it further equipped my knowledge within the industry whilst working closely with my team, and were able to improve the supply of water services within the communities that we were serving. And coming now back to SALGA, I formed part of the South African delegation and participated at the 8th World Water Forum event that took place in Brazil to tackle on water and sanitation challenges faced by the world. Importantly, to explore sustainable solutions to identified challenges. So this was a platform that will bring over 5,000 water professionals, politicians, and ministers under one roof to discuss the world's water and sanitation issues and solutions thereof. The other one, it's my day-to-day work where I'm working closely with municipalities, supporting and advising them on water services functions and assisting them with developing their various technical documents that they require, including their various bylaws and in water and sanitation, and also soliciting the support from the Municipal Infrastructure Support Agency, COCTA, and DWS within the water sector.
Now, what has been your observation about water services delivery, especially at a municipal level?
Speaking to water service delivery at a municipal level, one should need maybe to take note that we have 72% of the earth covered in water, of which 97% of that is the salty ocean water that is not suitable for drinking. And of that, we've got 70% of fresh water that is locked in ice caps. And then it brings us to the point that there's only 1% of the world's fresh water that is readily accessible, of which of that we have 6 countries, excluding South Africa, who have 50% of that of the world's freshwater reserves. So as South Africa, water continues to be central to all our economic activity and economic growth, and it will put further pressure on this already scarce resource. So without an adequate water supply, meeting basic needs and achieving sustainable economic growth as envisioned by the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, this will not be possible.
What would you say are some of the opportunities the youth can make in resolving some of the water sector challenges?
We need to mobilize the youth by leveraging on the water resources management, and thus by building employment opportunities and innovative approaches relevant to youth interested in contributing to building a water secure world. We also need to make space for youth-owned initiatives, and it is about time that we need to persuade decision makers to invest in enhancing an environment that strengthens the participation of youth, more especially in the water sector.
And now, lastly, what messages do you have for the youth of South Africa and the role they should play going forward?
it is not only the role that the youth should play going forward, but the role of all sectors, that is our public and our private sectors, the role that we should play in ensuring that the dreams of our youth are realized through the various streams, that is through employment, training, and funding initiatives for all innovation ideas that our youth will have towards improving our water sector.
Thank you, Dashia, so much for your time and that insight into the water sector, as well as SALGA's role in that. That was Dashia Maluma from SALGA on the relationship between SALGA, municipalities, and the water sector. Let us now take a look at Joburg Water.
My name is Tabisot Tavern. I work for Johannesburg Water as Regional Maintenance Manager at Northern Works and also at Driefontein Works. We are at Northern Wastewater Treatment Works in Diepsloot. It's a place owned and operated by Johannesburg Water. I'm responsible for maintenance at both works, electrical, mechanical, instrumentation, grounds, and yellow plant. The wastewater treatment plant is a plant where wastewater is treated. Wastewater is predominantly made up of sewage coming from the residential area and the wastewater coming from the industrial area. So the water, when it comes in, we remove debris, we remove nutrients, and then we clean it and we kill some of the pathogens and we put the water back into the river. For me to get into the sector, I had to study electrical engineering. As a young person, operating into the plant where there's biogas plant has been a privilege because it's one of the flagship plants. It's one of the first in South Africa. And it can actually give us 1 megawatt of electrical power. And we also harvest some of the heat to reheat the digester to produce more gas. And then we use the gas to produce electricity. So we can actually offset some of our electricity. And about 10% of the power that we use, we get it from the biogas plant. My message to the young stars in South Africa is that we need more of them to study electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, and chemical engineering to come and help companies like Johannesburg Water with the service of sanitation and wastewater treatment, because it's an important service that we provide to the community and the skill shortage in the sector.
The Polokwane municipality is committed to ensuring compliance to drinking water standards, including public safety and confidence. In the next insert, we see the work taking place at the Polokwane Delmada plant and speak to a young engineer there.
I'm Mali Jack Lhotwani. I'm a 28-year-old male. I'm a process controller, class 4, working at Polokwane local municipality. I'm working at a water purification plant based in Delmada, just outside the city of Polokwane. And I'm operating a plant which is registered in terms of Section 26 of the National Water Act. I grew up in a deep rural area in Ramulepo, just approximately 60 kilometers away from here, where when I grew up, I realized there are a lot of backlogs, especially in terms of water and sanitation. So I decided to venture into this sector so that one day I get to become one of the people who are involved in the decision-making processes to be able to supply people with clean water. Poor drinking water quality is also a threat to public health in general. So at Polokwane Municipality, as process controller, we work 24/7, day in, day out. We make sure that the water that we treat and provide to the people are of good quality. We are also running a business. We are ensuring that the product that we offer to our consumers is of good quality so that they will always appreciate the work that we do. My message to all the youth in the sector is that we are having numerous challenges in the water sector. So we need to act and work together to address these challenges. Remember, we cannot have different forces pulling in all different directions. The only way we can be able to address these challenges is if we work together. We have the capacity, we are capable of solving these challenges so that we continue to provide people with water of good quality.
That's all we have time for on this edition of SALGA TV. When it comes to programs and interventions aimed at achieving water security, economic growth, and sustainable development, young people must be placed at the center of these efforts at all levels. SALGA TV appreciates the opportunity to share some insights on how young people have been integrated into some of the key areas of South Africa's water sector. A sector which is not only essential for achieving sustainable economic growth, but is also vital for health and life. Until our next edition, from me, Meralda, Nisalega Mnandi.